Good morning. It is Wednesday, April 13th, 2022, back here for Daily Shakeup number 521. And today I want to talk about food. Well, not really, but in the context of leadership and the concept specifically of leaders eat last. Simon Sinek wrote a book called Leaders Eat Last, where he tells a story about leaders literally eating last and then ends up building on that foundation around the idea of how do you build trust? How do you build followership? How do you lead more vulnerably and create cultures of safety, psychological safety? It's an excellent book and a lot of great concepts, but I wonder how many of us actually think about the idea of eating last. And I actually do. I have to tell you, I was reminded yesterday, I was at a business breakfast and I was asked to go up and get up in line by table, which I don't, because if we don't do it by table, I am typically one of the last people in line. It's just sort of a mindset for me. So my table went up. I was standing in line ready to go. And another attendee, a woman, walked up and I reached down, handed the plate, handed it to her, and allowed her to go first. Now, part of that is just being respectful. I guess that's the way I was taught. And some people might say, well, Jeff, are you respectful to everyone? And often I am, whether it's a man or a woman. And I've noticed recently, at one point, some people were coming up into a food line, and I had all sorts of people going ahead of me. Just go ahead of me. Go ahead of me. And I think this was planted in me in the last 5 or 6 years. I was on a men's retreat, one of the leader team, or I was one of the leader staff, I would say at the time. And one of the people who was on the leader team walked up to me as I had food in my hand. And he said, how's the food? And I said, well, it's actually not too bad. And then he sort of scanned the room and he pointed at the line of people still waiting for food. And he said, how's your food? And what he was trying to subtly say to me was, and asked me, why did I have food when others hadn't been fed yet? And he said, Jeff, you're on a leader track. And I encourage you to think about what might happen, because it occasionally did, when they maybe not fully run out of food, but some of the food's gone. They're trying to guess how much food to make. And there are times that whoever's last, there's little bits left. And from that moment forward, it really hit me that if I'm the leader, then I go last and I make sure everyone else is taken care of first. That's the thing. It's not about going last. It's about making sure everyone else is taken care of first. So there's a literal nature to it that I think I've really brought in to my day-to-day habits around food, and especially lines. But there's a huge metaphor in it that's really profound. Because when we make decisions as leaders, are we making decisions based upon what's best for us or what's really best for our people or our customers or clients, the people we serve? We say it's for everyone else, but if you examine it through the lens of eating last, was it really about them or was it about me? So my invitation is pay attention to when you're eating, literally relative to your people, and how well you're eating relative to your people. But more importantly, run through that lens. When you make decisions, what would it look like here to eat last? Because that's the power and the concept of leaders eating last. That's it for today. Keep taking care of yourself and everyone around you. By all means, stay connected.